anytime that we do go live. All right, Tim, let's shift gears. Let's talk PFF grades from the game yesterday. It kind of goes unnoticed sometimes. And I want to talk about the players that did play well here in this game. And when you look at the PFF grades from the game against Denver on the road there, some are saying one of the best games of the year. I would agree, just from an NFL standpoint. Josh Jacobs, man, 36 snaps on one freaking knee, 88.3 PFF grade. He had an 84.1 run grade, and it's in the passing game at 85.5. Obviously, he had 2 catches, one of which was that touchdown. Was a hell of a catch. Getting both feet in, contested catch. Josh Jacobs is that dude, Tim. You gotta tip your cap to him, man.
Dude, that was incredible. We'll have that forever in the highlight reel, man. Making a big boy wide receiver type of play. Equally as impressive just because it's a running back making that play. Way to protect the football. And, I think that's one of the things that gets kind of overshadowed in his game. We think about him as a rusher. He is dynamic as hell in the passing attack. And considering what we're dealing with injuries and everything, we might see more of that, down the stretch here.
Yeah, definitely. So Not So Cool in the chat says JJ was our best player. I think I agree with that, man. I do. Next on the list, Matthew Golden, Tim. This is good to see because, again, anytime Matthew Golden's been on the field, he's been banged up with the injuries and stuff. Anytime he's been on the field this year, I have never thought, I don't know about this one. This guy's a long way away. When he gets opportunities, he makes plays. He creates separation. He's got great hands. He's obviously got blazing speed. I think if Christian does miss against the Bears, you're going to see our boy Matthew Golden playing that speed Z spot for Scoot is kind of what I feel like. So
I agree 100%. I think that's the approach, right? If Scoot's not going to go, let MG take that role. Because you look at the cornerback room right now, we might need Bo to play some corner. We got Kamal Haddon in the mix as well, but I'd love to see MG get more targets. I mean, they were trying to get him the ball yesterday, which you saw him make a couple of really nice grabs in crunch time. So, yeah, I'm all for it, man. 82.1 grade. Yeah. The Golden Child is the real deal. It's a matter of time before we're going to have to really lean on him based on how this season is kind of shaping up right now.
Yeah, and another thing that won't make the box score is that pass interference that he got called, right? Yeah. And I'm amazed at how many people are saying that's not pass interference. Like, bro, the ball is in the air. Matthew Golden is turning to catch the ball, and the cornerback has his arm hooked. He's trying to catch it. Like, it's the definition, Tim, of a pass interference. Like, and you guys know I've been as critical of anybody of the officials, right? But boy, oh boy, I look at that play and I don't think you could find a better depiction of a pass interference, man.
I mean, if you want to get technical, outside 5 yards, you can't make contact. Yeah. So, let alone grabbing a guy's arm and pinning it against his body while he's running a route. I mean, that's should be the easiest flag to throw, right?
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. All right, next on the list, Darian Kennard. It's funny, in the TV copy, I didn't focus on him too much watching the coaching tape back, but on the TV copy, I didn't really look up and go, Darian Kennard played great. I didn't. I kind of felt like he got bull rushed a couple times, but PFF gave him a 73.9, run blocking grade of 75.8. That's definitely his strength. A 68.9 pass blocking. This defense is much better than the Chicago defense we're about to face, so if you got to rest Zach Tom, and it sounds like 1 to 3 weeks, you probably will. Early, again, that's just early guesses on how long he may be out with no structural damage. I feel good about Darian Kennard filling in at right tackle there against the Bears. I don't know how good I feel about the Ravens. We haven't had a chance to really look ahead at their defense, but I like Darian Kennard. I just don't think he played that well in this game. I don't know if you disagree, but 73.9 on 41 snaps, man. You got to feel pretty good about it. And Darian Kennard on the year now, 78.2, Tim. I mean, my goodness,
Yeah, I mean, it says something that Kennard was the move. They didn't, play musical chairs and get Jordan Morgan out there, plug and play. And I think Kennard held up well, but I'm with you. I don't think he jumped off the screen as, having some incredible game or anything. But, when it comes to pass pro, I think he was our highest rated offensive lineman, there down the stretch since he had to take over. We had running backs that had higher pass pro grades than offensive linemen. So I think Kennard stands out for that fact. And who knows, maybe if he has to go against Chicago and, gets a start and another week under his belt, he continues to build on the really good year he's had. But I'm with you, Clay. I didn't see anything that was, super crazy. I've only been through the tape one time though. So we'll see how it goes if we watch the All-22 again. Getting ready to do chalk talk here.
Yeah, definitely. Next on the list, Chris Brooks, man, 17 snaps, 72.2. Surprise, surprise. Pass blocking grade, 81.2. He had a nice little run too there on one play. I remember specifically. He looked all right, man. So Chris Brooks continues to play solid football. Another great pickup by Goody. Just kind of finding him on the waiver wire last year, or on the practice squad, I should say, signing him for Miami. And it's been, I think it was last year that we made that signing, maybe the year before, but he's been a solid player, solid contributor. Jordan Love here, 69.1. Again, Jordan Love in the first half, guys, he was dominant. It was unbelievable. You talk about the tale of two halves. And then, of course, the injuries start to trickle in. You had Zach Tom go down, and now all of a sudden Christian Watson's out of the game, and the game plan completely flips. Things got a little bit rough there, but 69.1, still a decent game for Jordan. The interceptions, let's talk the interceptions. You know, with mistakes in games, typically coaches, and Coach Lynn in the chat, you correct me if I'm wrong here, Coach, and maybe different coaching staffs do it differently. You typically grade three things. You grade assignment, execution, and effort, right? And that's kind of how they grade how did you understand your assignment, right? Did you execute the play? And how was your effort? That's typically how coaches will grade. When you look at those two interceptions, let's grade that out for Jordan, okay? When you look at him throwing to Christian Watson, that's a single coverage, 50-50 ball. Okay, there you go. Coach Lynn says, yep, that's how we grade. So when you throw that 50-50 ball, I love the decision. The decision there, it's a one-on-one situation. You're giving your guy an opportunity to go make a play. So the decision there, right, the assignment, you give him a +2. Execution, you underthrew him a little bit. So, I don't know if you give him a -2 there, Tim, but you definitely wouldn't give him a +2. Maybe you give him a 0. Maybe you give him a -1, right? Maybe you break it down a little bit deeper than that. But in terms of effort, stepping up and taking a shot in the chest, I think you give him a +2 on the effort there too. I'm talking about Jordan Love specifically. Now, if you flip the script and you talk about Christian Watson on that play, right? His assignment, he ran the route. He had his guy beat. So you think good execution. Now, at the catch point, not great execution. The ball was underthrown, but you'd like to see him make a better adjustment there. So assignment-wise, I give him a +2. Execution, probably a 0. And people hear 0, that's just a neutral grade, right? +2.
Yeah.
Basically.
Not a negative, not a positive, right?
Right, exactly. You kind of did what you were supposed to do. You didn't go above and beyond, but you didn't also crap the bed there, right? And then, of course, effort. I mean, my God, the dude had to go to the hospital after the game because the effort trying to lay out there and make a grab, right? So that's kind of how I see that.
And one thing we're not accounting for either is the Patrick Surtain factor, right? Arguably the best corner in the NFL. So
was he the defensive player of the year last year? Am I thinking right? I think I read that somewhere that he was the defensive player of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. What did Patrick Surtain win the AFC Defensive Player of the Year award? There was some kind of big award. I seen him holding the award or whatever. Yeah, there you go.
Top 5 corner in the NFL, hands down, though.
He was voted the best defensive player last year. It was a hell of a play. Now, Denver Bronco fans are saying, "Oh no, he had it the whole way. He baited him." Okay, I got you. The ball was still underthrown. If Jordan does put it out in front of Christian, Patrick Surtain is not running down Christian Watson if he's in stride catching that ball, right? So again, hindsight's 2020. So
yeah, and if it's overthrown, it's not picked, it's an incomplete pass. I totally understand that for sure.
Yeah, but the point here is after that game, Tim, Jordan Love's still grading out 89.3 on the season. So I don't look at the way Jordan played yesterday. There's some people that are like, "Oh, he's cheating." I'm like, what are we talking about, guys? He was having a career game in the first half before all the injuries happened. And if you look at that as an excuse, then, hey, we can just agree to disagree. Romeo Dobbs, steady Eddie, 68.5 on the season, man. 67 on the season. So, again, not great, not bad. Just doing his job, in my opinion, 68.5. Luke Musgrave, 65. I just caught the ball. 65.5 for Luke Musgrave. So, now look at the last 4 weeks for Luke Musgrave. 74, 66, 77, 65. On the year of 57. But the last 4 weeks, man, playing pretty good football, playing pretty good football, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see Musgrave continue to build off of that. And listen, the catch he made, some think he had to lay out and make that grab. I feel like if he judges the ball a little bit better, he probably jumps, catches it, and keeps running, right? But again, that's kind of Musgrave's game. He typically catches the ball, goes to the ground. It is what it is, right?
We did see him run through an MFer's face once, though.
I
at least one of those. That made me feel good to see him lower that shoulder a little bit.
I agree, Tim. I seen that and I went, hold up. All right,
Okay.
Now listen, it didn't look like Tucker Kraft blasting anybody in the face.
Oh God, no.
But I'm with you. He did it, right? And that's a step in the right direction. So
absolutely.
Jayden Reed, 43 snaps, 65.3. Zach Tom, 64.4, only 27 snaps. Christian Watson graded out a 61.3 in that game. So they were a little bit harder on him than maybe most. So still on the season though, Christian Watson, 85.4 PFF grade. So in terms of the bad grades here, Emmanuel Wilson, you could see it, Tim. He had a bad game.
Yeah.
It was like his vision was limited. That dude was sicker than a dog out there trying to put it together. So I give Emmanuel Wilson a complete pass, man. The fact that he was able to suit it up and go out there sick like that, I tip my cap. I threw a tweet out earlier. I want to know, I've seen some of the tweets that fans were throwing his way, and I just wanted him to know, but there's a portion of the fan base, and there it got a lot of interaction. The fans that actually knew behind the scenes Emmanuel Wilson was playing sick like that, they came swooping in and said, with him tagged in the tweet too, man, thanks for giving it a go. Thanks for putting it out there on the line. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Gritty performance from him. And, no turnovers. It could have been worse, right? You're playing with an illness. You got altitude. You're not 100% physically. Like you said, Clay, I mean, ball carrier vision. I mean, if you're congested and, it's probably hard to see at all. And you can't knock him for that, man. If anything, you got to praise him for suiting up and making a go of it for sure. Yeah. Especially considering, like, beyond Chris Brooks, what are we looking at in that running back room, right? We have Pierre Strong on the practice squad, and Marshawn Lloyd obviously not able to see the field. So when it's all hands on deck, you got to suck it up and play, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan flu game, let's go.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll hit here with the Josh Whyle stuff, Tim, I didn't realize he only played 2 snaps when he got the injury. That is something that changes the game plan entirely. I mean, we've seen how we've utilized him in the run blocking game, in the league game, all that, right? The fact that we only got 2 snaps at him before he got hurt, that explains too. Like it almost makes you wonder, like, how in the hell did we have the first half that we did? I'm not saying Josh Whyle is the key to the Packers' offensive success, but I am saying that he's played a big role, and he's hands down. I think he's the best tight end out there without Tucker Kraft. I think he's better than Musgrave. That's just my personal opinion. At least it looks like it on the tape. So that's something I didn't want to go unnoticed. It just kind of clicked with me. And the fact that you had John Fitzpatrick had to play 46 snaps, and we know Whyle would have gotten a big chunk, if not the majority of those snaps, that played a big role in this game as well. So get Whyle back, maybe not this week, but next week, and you're feeling a lot better about the offense as well. So is there anything else you want to hit here in terms of the offensive PFF grades before we shift gears to defense, man?
Just piggybacking off the tight end conversation, I think you're right. I mean, Fitzpatrick's playing a lot of special teams reps as well. And then he's, out there running with the ones on offense. You're down Josh Whyle. That's huge, So we're, I don't want to say we're, alarmingly thin at tight end, but we're a little thin there in the tight end room right now. But I think we can, get by 1 week, and then hopefully Whyle clears that protocol and he's back in the fold, because I agree with you, Clay. I think, other than Tuck Norris, he's the best guy we got smoking in that tight end room right now, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Joseph in the chat said Matt would assign a lot of value to Whyle. If you're saying that Matt sees him valuable, I would agree with that. Again, I always say, if you want to know what's important to people, check their I always want to say playbook, check their checkbook and look at their calendar, right? And when you look at that in terms of football, it's like, okay, who's getting playing time, right? And who's getting opportunities, who's getting targets, that type of thing. I think that Matt puts Whyle in there in key situations and makes sure that he's a vital part, whether it's a run blocking aspect or catching a touchdown, that we seen early on when Whyle took the field after Tucker Kraft left with the season-ending ACL. I agree with what you're saying there, Joseph. So, all right, let's switch gears to defense, Tim. Let's talk about the defensive grades here. And listen, this defense got cooked yesterday. There's no 2 ways about it. You gave up 34 points. I know you lost Micah a little later in the game, but that second half adjustment, really the first half wasn't horrible for the Broncos offense, but that second half adjustment, boy, was Sean Payton in his freaking bag. Nonetheless, here are the defensive grades from the game. This doesn't surprise me at all. Xavier McKinney playing that post safety position and covering the entire field. That looked a lot like last year, in my opinion. So I think you're going to get back to seeing some more of that middle field deep looks there with Xavier McKinney. 91.9 was his grade. Micah Parsons played 40 snaps. 90.8 was his grade. Nate Hobbs, 10 snaps, Tim, 83.3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know he's played minimal snaps. But since he's come back here in week 14, 66.6, and then this week at 83.3, 10 snaps both games. If Nate Hobbs is healthy, you feel like he's playing some of his best football. And it's not just the PFF grades that suggest that. When you turn on tape, he does look like, okay, he looks like he's as healthy as he's been all year. Of course, now you have the injury setback possibly.
Yeah, another setback, right? We've been there before with Hobbs, and I agree with you, man. When he's healthy, dude, he's an asset to this secondary. We just got to get him to play more than 10 or 20 snaps a game, I think, and hopefully it's nothing serious with his injury too. Obviously he tweaks something. I'm assuming it's day to day with him, but we're gonna need him down the stretch. I like him, man. He's got that dog mentality, man. That dog in him, just like Keyshawn and Valentine and a lot of guys in this secondary, man. They're not going to take any BS from anyone. But, hey, you can't make the club in the tub. And like I said, we just need to get more snaps out of him.
Yeah, definitely. Rashawn Gary, I don't think it's any surprise that as soon as Micah Parsons goes out of the game, all of a sudden you see his PFF grade rise a little bit. Here's what I think you're going to see with Rashawn Gary. Remember early in the season, we had Gary actually, I think it was through 4 weeks, Gary was leading the league in sacks with 7.5, and then that tapered off. Well, what happened in the first 4 weeks of the season? You were trying to ramp Micah Parsons up, get him acclimated to the defense. He missed training camp, and you're kind of easing him in. You're trying to ramp him up, right? And then all of a sudden, it kind of flips. You got Gary playing more conservative, helping cover the run, setting the edge, all those things, and you started to turn Micah Parsons loose. Don't be surprised if you see Gary on the second half of the season or down the stretch here in the last 3 games of the season, him continue to grade out better. And don't be surprised if he's in the quarterback's face a little bit more. I seen him around the ball a lot yesterday. I thought this PFF grade kind of matched with what I seen there, 74.8. Pass rush grade was only a 60.9. Tackle grade 72. Run defense grade 70. Made a great play running the running back down from behind on that one run stop. And then, of course, there were several times that you've seen Bo Nix having to run away from 52 where he was getting pressure. So I feel like Gary, you're going to see him amp up a little bit. Not that he's been holding back. I think it's just the way the scheme was designed with Micah out. Now you're probably going to see him showcase a little bit more getting after the quarterback. Number 5, Edgerrin Cooper, a 73.0 on the day. No surprise there. Edgerrin Cooper having a great year, just like last year. So those top 5 there, Tim, again, quick recap. McKinney, Parsons, Hobbs, Gary, Cooper. Anything you want to say about those 5 players, man?
Yeah, I agree with you about Rashawn, man. I think you're going to see him in that well north of 40 snaps per game now, obviously, with Micah going down. And I think the more he plays, the more of an impact he's going to have. And, Rashawn's been a leader, and he's going to continue to be a leader. And I think you're right. I think, when all the chips are down, your back's against the wall here. You got guys that are hurt. If anybody's going to step up in this D-line room, it's going to be Rashawn Gary. So looking forward to seeing him down the stretch.
Yeah. And again, he said it best, man. Let's go out there and win for Micah, right? Let's go win for him. So love that attitude. Carrington Valentine, 65.8. Kingsley Nigbari, 65.5. Steady grades there. Tyron Hopper, Christian Welch only played 2 snaps each. Aaron Mosby with 2 snaps himself. Jordan Riley at 55. On defense, according to PFF, they think Javon Bullard struggled with a 29 coverage grade. We got to go back and watch the All-22 and really dive in to look at some of the assignments, things like that. Quay Walker, I was pretty vocal about in our chat, Tim. I felt like he had a bad game. PFF says a 41.1. Of course, Quay could have a great game in my eyes. It seems like PFF always grades him low, but I do feel like Quay had a rough game yesterday. Isaiah McDuffie, according to PFF, 44.3. And then, again, the other stack backer, of course, was our boy Edgerrin Cooper with a 73. So, anything else you want to hit in terms of the defensive grades there, man? Anything kind of stick out to you at all there?
Yeah, looking at Bullard, kind of an off day for Javon, but still a 76.1 tackle grade, right? He's still a thumper. And hey, let's all remember, these guys are human beings. Not everyone's going to be perfect every day. You're gonna have bad games. Sometimes you're gonna have games where you and everybody around you is playing bad. it does happen. It's not an excuse. It's just, it is what it is. It's not indicative of, your caliber as a player. If anything, we're going to keep an eye on these guys and see how they respond against Chicago on Saturday night. And, if I know these guys any way I think I do, I believe that guys like Bullard, guys like Keyshawn are going to step up, and they're going to have a better game than they had yesterday for sure.
Yeah. And again, with Bullard, he had a bad game yesterday. I agree with, I don't know if the grade should be that low, but I didn't look at every one of his individual snaps, ISO cam, and go, here's what I grade him. But I felt like he was off yesterday. But here's the reality of Bullard, guys. That was the first bad game he's had since, I would say, week 4. His PFF grade starting in week 6, 71, 73, 69, 64, 66, 72, 68, 71, 75. Bad game. Let's reset, go out there and kick the Bears' ass, and let Bullard start to create some more momentum going into the playoffs. Huge step forward this year for Javon Bullard. Just a bad little hiccup there. And again, on the season, a 63.8 now. So starting to really turn it on, letting him play that slot position. And yesterday he did have 32 snaps, which was it's kind of looking at it, probably middle of the road. No, it was probably some of the least amount of snaps he's had this year. Against Chicago, only 26 snaps, but they probably played more 12 than Denver did. So, yeah. All right. So there you go, guys. There are your defensive PFF grades. If you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments how you feel about those grades. Is there any you agree with, disagree with? Is there a player that you felt like they played a little bit better than maybe PFF had given them credit for? Let us know in the comments what you think about this game. Also, make sure you hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you know when we go live anytime here in the future. Tim, you got anything else you want to hit, man? I think it's a good spot to kind of wrap up there. Everybody in the live chat, hit that like button for us. Smash it real quick. Spin those laces. Let me know if it's a soccer ball so I can get pissed off about it. Tim, you have the floor, sir. Anything at all?
No, just keep your head up, Packer fans. Don't be negative. It's real easy to be negative right now. It seems like the sky is falling. It's a team game for a reason, right? You never know who's going to step up. It ain't over till it's over. And, all you the season's over portion of the fan base, I look forward to not having to hear your takes. I'm assuming you're not going to watch any more Packer football this year because you believe the season's over. So I look forward to y'all shutting the hell up and, not bothering me with your bad football takes. For the rest of us that are fans, it ain't over till it's over. And I'm looking forward to seeing this team finish out the year. And, it starts Saturday night with belt to ass in Chi-Town. That's all I got to say. Go, Pack, go.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. You got to get healthy and create some momentum going into the playoffs, and you never know what could happen here, man. I know this. We will be here every step of the way. Win, lose, or draw. We'll be here talking Packers daily. We'll be talking about the positives, talking about the negatives, and talking about the future. I just think it would be absolutely awesome if you go down there with a bunch of injured players sitting out and you somehow beat the Chicago Bears to sweep them. Man, oh, man, would that be fun. The Packers currently are favorites going into Chicago, which is wild to think about. Maybe that'll change with the injury information tomorrow. To the best of my knowledge, factored into that point spread is the Micah Parsons injury already. But I think it will be interesting to kind of see how everything shakes out in terms of that when we get a little bit closer to the game week. I was trying to just take a quick gander and see if anything changed according to PFF. With the point spread here, you got to kind of go ahead and jump through some hoops, go to week 16. I want to give you guys the latest information that we can. So with the Packers and Chicago, the Packers are still 1.5-point favorites as it sits right now. And, of course, the line hasn't had a chance to move yet. That's what the market says, okay? That's what the market is saying right now to the best of my knowledge. And we'll see what PFF has it at a little bit later in the week. So that's it, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out. I know we went live several times today. Hopefully we brung you the breaking news in real time as best we could and just kind of laid it out when the news broke and then got in there and had a little conversation about it. So I just want to say this, man. After a tough game like that with all the injuries, it's easy to go, man, I don't want to listen or watch anything Packers all week long. I get that. I understand. The fact that we had so many people watching the live stream earlier, we had, I can't remember how many it was. It was well over 1,000 watching earlier today. And obviously we got a bunch of people in here watching right now. You guys are the real MVPs. We really, really appreciate everybody jumping in here and talking ball on such a tough day. And I love the fact that we're pulling away a little bit. We're distancing ourselves from the other people who they open up the phone lines and they, let us know what you don't like about the Packers right now. And they just feed off that negative energy. We're in here going, all right, man, what positive do we have to cling on? What can we build off of? Okay, what does this game plan look like going into Chicago, the whole 9 yards? If I have time, I'm going to put together Chalk Talk because I would like to dive into some of the negative plays in the second half and kind of see what happened. Got to go to Kentucky tomorrow. So I'm going to try to rush back here and get you guys a live stream as quick as possible. We may have to hold Chalk Talk till Wednesday, and then we'll just kind of do everything on the fly because we got a ball game coming up Saturday. I'm excited about it. So everybody, and I love in the chat too. This has kind of become the you were going. I'm sorry. Right. There you go. It's funny. Two people said it. Chester said this is a group therapy session. Not so cool. This is therapy. I agree. Right. And Coach Lynn said it is, man. It's toxic and embarrassing out there. And again, that's why you just got to hit mute, block, group up with the people that you're like-minded with there, and move forward talking about the stuff that actually matters. So,
like 2-0 for this said, in the words of Michael Scott, I'm going to watch Packers stuff even harder now.
That's right. Did he say I'm going to date your mom even harder now? Yeah. not so cool, or not the 2 over this, but Michael Scott said that. So, all right, guys, we're out. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody hit like, subscribe, click the bell icon. This is PTA. My name's Clayton. Hey, listen, when bad things happen, I don't know why I used the stripper voice from The Office. Remember she was saying, what was it she said when she gave Michael advice? Words hurt. Well, I can't remember. 2-0 for this. I know he knows this in the chat. But when you have a bad day, right, what I typically do is try to look at somebody and go, how can I make their day a little bit better? How can I help somebody today? How can I encourage someone? That's the best way to get out of that bad mood because it sucked. It sucked yesterday, right? I'm waiting for 2-0 for this to give me that secrets. Wasn't that what it was?
No fun. Secrets hurt someone.
That's it. Yeah. And I think Michael went, yeah. Like it was philosophical for him, right? So, yeah. All right. Chet says you guys are killing it. Thanks, boys. And Coach Land kind comment in there too, man. Thank y'all so much. There it is. Yep. I knew you had it. Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone. You got it, Tim. I appreciate you, Bates. You're the man, buddy. You're the man. 2-0 for this said, I'm sorry I was making tea. What kind of tea you making over, buddy? You putting devil's lettuce in that tea? Huh? All right. We'll leave it alone there. Tim, appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, Clay. Go Pack, go, baby. We ain't dead yet. Let's go.
That's right, baby. About to pull an Undertaker and rise from the grave. We'll see y'all.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.